Against a complex backdrop of geopolitics and rising energy prices, the transition to find alternative sources of fuel has never been more urgent. Japanese engineering company JGC says they have the answers to not only providing a stable source of energy, but doing it in a way that is healthier for the planet. My name is Rosanna Lockwood and I'm in Davos, where I sat down with some of the management team to find out how they're doing this. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you. Thanks so much for joining us here in Davos, Switzerland. Joining us, General Counsel and Executive Officer for JGC Holdings, Satoshi Kurata, and President of Facility Infrastructure Solutions, Keiji Nihira. Really great to meet you too. And those titles, let's dip into those before we go into the main conversation, because I'd like to find out more about what you both do, what brought you here to Davos. So let's start with you, Keiji. Okay. Interesting, Facility Infrastructure Solutions. What does that mean within your business? What are you doing?
All right. Okay. The JGC Corporation is basically well known for the oil and gas business sector, who execute the project in the EPC. But because the company, they try to diversify and expand that business, the domains, not only staying in oil and gas. So my sector is working, simply saying, the non-hydrocarbon business sectors, which is the pharmaceutical or food or traffic or other social industries. So we try to expand our business doing from the oil and gas to the other field. That's the solutions, what I'm doing.
Okay, I look forward to finding out more about how you're managing that transition in your business away from the hydrocarbons. But hearing about you speak about that makes me think you must have been in projects all over the world.
Oh, yes. The JGC company is basically focusing on the project in overseas, for the clients overseas or the Japanese client who invest the project in overseas. So whatever project we have in overseas, the JGC Corporation to take care of them. So basically we are always involved in the overseas project.
Okay, so you have traveled the world, I can see that. And I believe the same is true of you. Satoshi, the company has taken you to various locations and your career has. General Counsel, clearly you're a lawyer. Tell me what that means within JGC.
Yes, certainly. So I'm responsible for the whole legal department and compliance department of the JGC Group, and also responsible for the governance of the company itself, which looks after the board meetings and the shareholder meetings as well.
Okay, so some proper legal counsel advice, expertise to bring to this conversation. Let's find out a little bit more about JGC itself. Major legacy company in Japan, so many projects as we've already heard. Just give us a sense, what is the main sort of purpose and vision of JGC?
Yeah, so JGC's purpose is enhancing planetary health. It may sound a bit cliche, but global warming is the most challenging issue that we're facing as mankind. And it is vital for us to improve the health of the planet itself for the future generation.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound too cliche to me. Yeah, global warming, we can see it when we arrived here in Davos. It was too warm for this time, this time of year. So what does that make you think about the way that your business is performing? Yeah,
so as one of the leading engineering companies in Japan, our mission is not to just maintain the global energy supply, but also to maximize our decarbonization effort. And we want to be, and we're committed to become the solution provider for this global issue that we have.
And when you say solution provider, what kinds of solutions?
That would to provide some energy transition in terms of how we can be more carbon neutral in producing energy.
So I can understand that the energy transition and the way JGC is managing that is forefront of your mind, of your everyday business activities. Give us a sense of how it will work, the kind of phases you might go through.
Sure. Okay. Let me explain about energy transitions, and especially in 3 phases. And the first phase, we will convert the coal to the LNG, because the emission of the LNG is the half from the coal. So that's why we can significantly reduce the greenhouse gas emission by using the LNG. So that is most fastest and the easiest solution to achieve the decarbonization of the society. And the second phase is the shift to LNG to the blue hydrogen. And I'm not sure the people knows about the blue hydrogen, but the blue hydrogen is the hydrogen, but generated from the fossil fuels, and capturing the CO2 during the process and injected it into the ground. And we have a technology to capture the CO2 and inject it into the ground. So that is also the possible solution to improve the greenhouse gas emission. And the third one is the last, is the shift the blue hydrogen to green hydrogen. And the green hydrogen is refined from the electricity of water or other means, using renewable energy. So that means that hydrogen is a perfectly the cleanest energy carrier. But unfortunately, the hydrogen is not suitable for long distance transportation, and it needs to be converted from the other substances, chemically. So we can say the hydrogen is not the simple solution to improve the greenhouse gas emissions, but we can convert the green hydrogen to ammonia chemically. So ammonia can be liquefied and also transported at the same temperature of the LPG, which we always using widely. So the ammonia will have the big potential to become the next LNG of the next era.
That's quite right. I want to ask you more about LNG as well, because we often hear that is the answer, or at least the key transition fuel towards a cleaner future. Do you think, and this is separate to what we've already discussed, but do you think that the world has all the facilities necessary for total LNG use yet, or is there more potential to be explored?
Yes, we have quite a big potential to expand, the LNG, the productions. In addition to the global energy transition trend, which require the LNG, but unfortunately, because of geopolitical the tension by the Ukraine war, the currently demand of the LNG is significantly increased.
Yes. So you saw that direct impact from the start of the Ukraine war on the energy crisis and then the demand picture.
Yes, exactly, yes.
Yeah, okay. But another area that I understand that JGC is sort of pioneering the way on is the transport sector. You mentioned at the beginning that is one of the key players.
Okay.
Talk to us a little bit about how that's working.
For transport, we're kind of focusing on aviation, namely sustainable aviation fuel, right? And what we have done is to have a new company set up to supply sustainable aviation fuel with a venture capital located in Kyoto and also a major oil company. So this venture capital located in Kyoto will collect cooking oil from restaurants, those kind of oils that you fry tempura, and we as JGC will use that cooking oil to convert that to aviation fuel by creating a new facility for that, and the oil company will sell that to the airlines. So in summary, what we're doing is that we're frying tempura to fly airways.
Yeah, it's a very interesting initiative. Yeah.
So, if you come to Kyoto next time, please make sure you have tempura so we can have the cooking oil to fly you back.
All right. Yes.
I love it. I've never heard of that kind of usage before, using cooking oil from tempura to make aviation fuel, to fly people places. It makes me wonder why it hasn't happened before. Do you think it could open the way to more people using old food oils in transport?
Yes, I think this is a potential that we see. There are a lot of innovations and technology issues that we are facing still because there needs to be a more mass production of this cooking oil and how we can collect that. But we see that if we kind of work together without boundaries with other companies, other people that with new ideas, I think we can have this mass production of aviation fuel in the future.
Fascinating. Now, it makes me think of the nickname I believe you have for your business, Nobushi. When I was reading up on your business, it struck me, not something I've heard of before. I don't speak Japanese, but tell me what it means.
Yeah, so we're known as Nobushi in Japan. It kind of translates to free samurai. Doesn't belong to any particular clan. So we as Nobushi do not kind of belong to any keiretsu. And also we are very free-minded, independent, and committed to deliver results. And I think because of this, we are kind of uniquely positioned to break through boundaries and kind of create something new that would be very essential in achieving a carbon neutral society.
Let's just wrap up this interview now by talking a little bit more about the setting. We're in beautiful Davos in Switzerland, where it's just stopped snowing. It's been snowing all morning. But it is fantastic to have you here with us. We're having a range of conversations while we're here. Of course, this is the setting for the World Economic Forum. Almost every year, as we know, global leaders coming together to try and solve the world's most pressing issues. And this year they're meeting under this theme, cooperation in a fragmented world, to stop another decade of inaction, as they called it. And you already mentioned the Ukraine war. That's going to be top of the agenda. But also post-pandemic or still ongoing recovery from the pandemic as well. Let's talk about cooperation and what that means in the energy transition space. How important is it?
Yes, I think cooperation amongst different sectors, industries, is going to be essential. Impact of any innovation would be very limited if you're just on one company or one industry. So if you can broaden the pie to have everyone join us, to be able to cooperate widely without any boundaries, I think we can really make the change that we require for this global warming.
It's great to hear that. Do you believe, given what we saw with the pandemic, the way countries cooperated, that we can have that kind of cooperation?
I think it's really the mindset of the people that really needs to change, rather than to be, arguing against each other. I think we need to become together as humankind. How we can tackle this global warming for the future generation of our children, right? And we as JGC are very committed to that, to become a solution provider, and also to live our purpose in enhancing planetary health.
And talking of purpose, do you feel like you are going to achieve your purpose with your trip here, brief as it is, to Davos, Switzerland? What were you trying to achieve by coming here?
Yeah, definitely we were going to enjoy this magnificent view of Davos, right? Yeah. And we want to let the world know JGC is here to help this biggest challenge that humankind has, leveraging our technology and know-how, and bring everybody together to achieve the goal of carbon neutral society.
Excellent. What will you do with your final day here?
Because we got in a good big snow the last night.
Yeah.
So maybe I can have some skiing today.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. It's been wonderful speaking to you both from JGC Holdings, joined by General Counsel and Executive Officer Satoshi Kurata and President of Facility Infrastructure Solutions, Keiji Nihira.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.